Okay, ma'am.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavat Puran, skanda 3, volume 3, canto 3, chapter 4, sloka 28 onwards. Here King Parikshit has said, O Lord, all the Yadus, Vrishnis, and Bhods were destroyed, and even the Supreme Lord had to leave this mortal world. Then how was it possible that the chief among the Yadus, Uddhavji, just survived? So King Parikshit is asking to Sukhdevji, who is explaining.
Ma'am, can I?
Yeah, Kritik.
Ma'am, so in this shloka, King Parikshit is asking to Sukdev ji that how, when all the Yadus and even Sri Krishna himself had to leave the earth, how only Uddhav survived.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now Sri Sukhdevji Maharaj has said, Lord Shri Krishna ji, who destroyed his entire dynasty just by a thought in the form of the eternal end times and the curse of Brahmanas, he thought to himself that now, as I am leaving this mortal world, it is only right that a controlled mind like that of Uddhavji understands the secret about my true form. Uddhav ji is not less wiser than me in any ways. Moreover, he is self realized and supreme amongst those who can control their senses. It will be only right that he teaches the world and spreads the knowledge about me. So, this is 29 to 31, this meaning. Who is explaining?
Me.
हाँ
Ma'am, so in this shloka it said that, Ma'am, so Lord Shri Krishna was when after the curse of Brahmanas and after the Mahabharat war, he had to destroy all his family members and friends. Ma'am, so when he was about to leave the mortal world himself, he decided that he would tell a stable mind who can control his senses and a person who is no less wiser than Lord Shri Krishna, who is Uddhavji. Ma'am, so he told Uddhavji the secret knowledge and like told him to spread it around the world and tell more people.
Very good, thank you. So that is the reason Uddhavji was there and others have already left. So it was Sri Krishna ji's demand that Uddhavji will spread the knowledge. So Sri Krishna ji has chosen Uddhavji to spread the knowledge as he was very wise. Now Shloka 32, Shravan and Nikita your turn. In this way,
Ma'am,
as
we both of us have to explain, ma'am.
sorry,
Ma'am, we both have to explain.
that we will see.
Okay.
Who will explain? Shloka 32. In this way, as directed by the essence of all Vedas, the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna ji, who is also the teacher of universe, Uddhav went to Badrik ashram and started his meditation and devotion on the Supreme Lord. Shravan. Okay,
Can I
Nikita,
explain the next one?
Shravan, you are there.
Can I explain the next one?
Okay, Nikita,
No,
your
no,
turn.
I'll explain this one itself.
Sorry.
I'll explain this one itself. So in this sloka, um, uh, Uddhavji went and did meditation uh, to try and attain Lord Shri Krishna and to tell his pleasures, Lord Shri Krishna's pleasures to everybody.
Very good, thank you. So here, Sri Krishna ji is been praised in as said as essence of all the Vedas. So Sri Krishna ji is the essence of all the Vedas, teacher of the entire universe, and he is the Supreme Lord. So in three ways, Sukdev ji is calling Sri Krishna ji, and Uddhav ji went to Badrik ashram. Now श्लोका तेरा टर्न है तो चले गए बहुत लंबा है 33 to 35 is together. Sukdev ji is saying, O Parikshit, the supreme among the Kurus, please understand that it was the Leela of Sri Krishna ji that he appeared on this earth. Leela means pastimes. In English we can say pastimes. And again it was the Leela only that which he disappeared. The disappearance of the Supreme Lord was neither a cause of worry for the people who were on the path of liberation through the yoga of renunciation, where it was equally painful for the animal like people who were attracted to the material world and pleasure. Thus, hearing about the praiseworthy pastimes of the Supreme Lord from the mouth of the Supreme Devotee Uddhavji, and to know the Sri Krishna ji also mentioned Vidurji at the time of departure, made Vidurji emotional. He started weeping. That means he was closing his mouth and crying. Okay, so who is going to explain this now? Tejas or Kritika?
Me.
Okay.
Ma'am, in the shloka it said that, ma'am, so he's saying that, so Sukdeji Maharaj is telling to King Parikshit, and he's praising him by saying, O most wise of Gurus. So it was Lord Sri Krishna's Leela that he came down to the earth, and it was his Leela again which made him disappear. Ma'am, and because he mentioned Vidurji's name before he was about to die, it made Vidurji very happy, and he was crying with his mouth closed.
Very good. So here it has been mentioned that it was just the Leela, that Sri Krishna ji took birth on this earth and then he disappeared. So for it's been said here that it was not a cause of worry. Why? Because Sri Krishna ji is always everywhere. It was just his Leela that he did, and he went, and it was not worrying the knowledgeable persons or the yogi because they know the fact. But it was the cause of worry for the ignorant people who were totally busy in the material life. Correct? Now, last shloka of this chapter, Shloka 36. Thereafter the learned, supremely intelligent Vidurji left from the bank of river Yamuna and reached the bank of river Ganga after few days. This is the place where sage Maitreya used to live. Okay, read this time.
So after this happened, the intelligent Viduji left the river Yamuna and went to the river Ganga, and this is where the sage Maitreya used to live.
Thank you. Thus ends the fourth discourse in Book 3, consisting of a dialogue between Vidurji and Uddhavji of the great and glorious Bhagavat Puran, otherwise known as Paramahamsa Sarhita. Now we'll move to chapter 5. Chapter 5, the question from Vidurji and the explanation from sage Maitreya about the process of creation. The first shloka. Nikita, you're there?
Yes, ma'am.
Shloka 1. Here Sukdev ji has said, the supreme knowledgeable sage Maitreya was seated in the region of Haridwar. Maitreya ji was in Haridwar. The pure heart of the Vidurji, due to the devotion of Supreme Lord, came near him and asked sage Maitreya the following questions. Come on, Nikita, your turn.
So, ma'am, I didn't really understand the shloka.
Nikita, it's very simple, Nikita. It's super simple. Here it is been said, Sukdev ji saying to King Parikshit that sage Maitreya was in Haridwar and Vidurji, who was the pure devotee, went near to him and ask the following questions to say Sage Maitreya. That's it. Can you tell now? Nikita, are you there or not?
Ma'am, can I explain the next shloka?
What's wrong with this shloka? Come on, tell fast.
Mommy, can I?
No, Tejas.
So,
No.
ma'am, Sukhdev ji,
Huh. Hmm.
he went
Hmm. Sukhdevji went
to
where?
Lord Maitreya.
Maitreya. Sukhdevji
Yeah,
ne.
and asked him the following questions.
Sukhdevji ne. Who went?
Ma'am, can I tell who went?
No.
Can I
Uh,
say?
Who went?
Vidurji.
Thank you so much. Abadi. Shloka 2 now. Shravan, your turn. Shloka 2. Vidurji said, O Lord, all the living beings on this earth perform all their actions for some rewards, either happiness or wealth or benefit, or etc. But why performing such actions, the happiness or the hunger for the reward is never fulfilled, and moreover, the distress and sadness always increases. Hence, what should one do correctly? Please advise me on this subject.
Yes, so in this shloka it's being asked that, ma'am, ma'am, why, why even though if a man gets all his rewards and happiness, his his happiness that doesn't ever get fulfilled. Only the sadness keeps increasing.
Very good. So he's asking for the guidance. Na? Now, Shloka 3. It is a true fact, right? The more we get, more we are dissatisfied and we want more. It is the human nature, correct? Like we get something, we look for more, and for that looking for more, make the human more sad and distressed and worried because he want more. He or she want more and not getting, and that may creates all the problem. So, what we have to do, we have to be content. We have to be satisfied with what we have. Correct? You all are just growing, you're just growing. If you understand this fact, your life will become very easy. That is why I'm saying that be satisfied with what you have rather than getting worried and full of tension. You will be troubling yourself plus your friends and family. Now, Shloka 3. Shloka 3. Kiska turn hai? Nikita, your turn.
Ma'am, shloka 3, right?
People like your good self always roam around from place to place in order to bring relief to the unfortunate people who either don't like Sri Krishna ji or they are not righteousness
Ma'am, what does that mean?
or they are very much in distress. That means that they are not righteousness. That means
Yeah,
they
but
are
I
not.
didn't understand like something they said about Lord Shri Krishna. You don't like
People
Lord Shri
who
Krishna.
don't like Sri Krishna ji.
Oh,
There
why
are
would they
people
not like?
who will not like Sri Krishna ji, who want something else. Okay, they don't believe in God. There are people who don't believe in God.
Ma'am, they're just cruel.
For that only Lord Maitreya go place to place, make them understand the fact. He work for their with that type of people welfare. Okay, come on, you explain Shloka 3.
So, ma'am, in this shloka, what's been? said is that the people who don't like Lord Sri Krishna are uh, um,
Mhm. Then what?
don't have righteousness,
Yes, correct.
and they're uh, uh, not something, I forgot that word.
Distress.
Distress.
Very good. So what happened to them?
Um, uh,
Lord Maitreya go to all this type of people and help them
to like Lord Sri Krishna.
to make them understand the fact. See why we pray. Why we pray, why we worship God. Agent,
Ma'am,
tell me.
to have a good life.
Good life and
Uh,
it no basically reduce the stress level
yeah.
and it develops the calmness in the body. There are people who don't pray, who don't worship God, and if you meet that type of people, you will not like them at all because they are so much, distressed. They are too much either thinking of the future or the past. They are worried for things which has not happened to them, and they are worried ki no, my friend's house this happened, it may have happened to me also. So this type of people, they will tell no, I don't have time to worship, I don't have time to remember God, but they have time to offer all this other things which is not required. That is why we should all, humans should all try to do little chanting, remember God, go to temple, है ना? What happens at that time, no, you are not thinking anything else, you are thinking of the divine power. So that divine power will help the body to be calmed down, to smooth, not to think of anything other than good things. There is one lady actually, I keep saying her, you come attend the class or watch my videos, remember God, do some, you know some divine devotional things and all, but and she's always worried, and she's worried for the things which has not happened to her and happened to someone else. So
But
basically
ma'am, it's someone else's problem.
someone else,
Nothing, ma'am.
tell na.
Nothing. I got confused on what you said.
You got confused, okay. Okay, I will not say, leave it.
No, that's not what I meant.
Basically we should know, remember God, we should do some divine and devotional, we should spend some time on devotion, basically anything it can be. But when you know this maha mantras, when you know Bhagavad Gita, then you should chant the shlokas for sure daily. Compulsory you should chant the shlokas. There is nothing like I don't have time. We have ample of time. The way we utilize it matters a lot. Okay, now shloka 4. O the foremost amongst the saints, please tell me the blessed and the eternal path that one should follow in the devotion of the Lord, who in his turn enters into their hearts purified by devotion and blesses them with wisdom, which helps them in the realization of truth. Shloka 4, Vidurji is asking to Lord Maitreya, and Sukdev ji is saying this to King Parikshit. Who is going to explain? Kritika, you there? Kritika is not there. Tejas तू बोलेगी क्या? Shravan, Nikita, you say.
Ma'am, ma'am, can I finish the next sloka? There's a bug in my room.
Let the bug also listen and get moksha.
Ma'am, but it's so big, it's scary.
He has
Ma'am, I'll be
come.
back, ma'am. I need to call my brother to take out the bug.
No, he has come down to listen to Bhagavatam. Okay, now Shloka 5. No, no. 5 and 6 together. Kindly also tell me what kind of deeds are performed by the Lord, who is the ruler of all the three worlds and absolutely independent. So here Vidurji is asking to Lord Maitreya to make him understand what kind of deeds Sri Krishna ji does, who is the ruler of all the three worlds and who is absolutely independent. He, though being actionless, creates this universe. Then he provides all support for this universe and its people to exist. And then he finally absorbs them all at the time of dissolution. He also appears in this world in different forms and incarnations, although he being the same supreme entity. Please do tell me the secret of this. Okay, Riti is
So in
telling.
this shloka, Vidurji is asking Lord Maitreya that what deeds does Lord Shri Krishna do, uh, and he is actionless while he will create this universe and give everything to the people what they need and then observe them all at the last. And he's asking, please tell me what is the secret of this.
Very good. So basically, if you see, it is the revision, what Sri Krishna is in a very short form, in a very quick way. Everything is being told about Sri Krishna ji. Now, Shloka 7. For the protection of. Acha, anybody is there? Kritika, Tejas, Nikita, you are there?
Yes, ma'am.
Tejas is there. Thank you, Tejas. Shloka 7. For the protection of Brahmanas, cows, and gods, he appears again and again on this earth and performs divine pastimes, that is, Leela. Please tell me such Leelas. The Supreme Lord's stories are always like nectar for the ears and heart, and one can never get tired of hearing them in numerous times. Okay, Tejas, your turn.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, so in this sloka, Viduji is saying that so Lord Sri Krishna comes down because of like cows, and he comes down and gives like the great leelas and pastimes. Ma'am, and Vidurji is telling, please tell me more pastimes, ma'am, because ma'am, it's like also, ma'am, though it's not like full of like action or like drama, ma'am, but it's still nice, ma'am, because ma'am, that's Lord Sri Krishna, ma'am, and that's his pastimes, and that's what he does, ma'am. And he's saying it's also like nectar to eat the ears, ma'am. So he's asking Sage Maitreya to tell them to tell the to tell the pastimes or stories of Lord Sri Krishna.
Thank you. Kritika, you're back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Shloka 8. Please also tell me the logic and principle by which the Supreme Lord has created so many lokas, and then their rulers, and the division of the people living in them, and the type of actions every living being is going to perform. Kritika, your turn. Shloka 8.
Yes, ma'am. So the shloka is asking what the logic is which by which the Supreme Lord has created different universes, the different lokas, and then he has created rulers for each loka, and how. So he's basically asking how the material world was created and by what logic and what is like the aim or goal of the Supreme Lord during the creation.
Very good. Thank you. Shloka
Thank
9. Nikita, you're there?
Yes, ma'am.
Shloka 9. O the chief among the Brahmanas. Please also explain me how the Supreme Lord, the self-born Sri Narayan, create and distinguish the people based on their nature, action, forms and names.
Ma'am, can you repeat it one more time?
No,
Please.
sorry. It's super easy. How many times you have read? Read
Okay,
this
ma'am.
thing.
So in this shloka, what's been said is that um, the chief amongst the Brahmins
Hmm. Hmm.
um, al- also describe how ma'am, what's his name?
Maitreya.
Yeah, describe how Maitreya is the is nat is nature act something, ma'am. I forgot.
Totally wrong. Too good.
So it is in the shloka it has been said that a chief among the Brahmins. Please also explain how the Lord uh, Na- Shri Krishna ji, uh, how he finished the people by their natures, their names, their actions, and their forms.
Okay. Now Shloka 10. Shloka 10. Nikita, at least listen this.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Shloka 10. O Lord, I have read and heard about the duties of different people from the mouth of Lord Vedvyasi many times. But now I only want to hear about the eternal bliss nectar like pastimes of Sri Krishna Ji, Supreme Lord, because the other stories are melodramatic and I am bored with them.
So, ma'am, in this shloka, what's been said is that um, uh, oh Lord, I I want to hear stories about Lord Shri Krishna
Correct.
because the other stories I'm tired of hearing and I've become bored.
Very good. Yes, then.
That's it. That's all you said.
Okay, and he's saying that I have listened many stories from Ved Vyasji. है ना? I have listened with many stories on duties of humans by Ved Vyasji. I just want to listen now glories of Sri Krishna ji or the pastimes or Leela. Now,
Ma'am, what's Leela? Oh,
Leela
never
means
mind. I know what's Leela.
sorry.
Nothing, ma'am.
अच्छा, ठीक. Okay, so we will end over here then.